Thank you for joining me. I thought today I'd discuss something, let's talk about Venus and how it's going to be, how it's been last couple of years, 21 months since, everything in the world changed, and the impact that it's going to have, because Venus is going to be is in Sagittarius, has been there since November, beginning of November, and it will be there pretty much till 27th of February next year. It will kind of go into Capricorn, but it will retrograde back in there. So there's things about love, relationships, commerce, interaction, justice, and all kinds of things, contract, things like that, will be like very much the focus with Venus. So Venus is obviously leading us out of 2021, being in Sagittarius, and for me it's a remarkable thing, because I find that this whole last 21 months has been very telling about our belief system. And I think everybody has kind of, because obviously Sagittarius is our belief system and our truth, and therefore it's we can see how everything has been very much like challenged and tested last 21 months, and how we love and what's important in love to us, and what we want to what we feel is fundamental to our being. Really, that's what it is. So Venus obviously rules the second house of the natural zodiac, as well as the seventh house of zodiac. So this is one of the planets to do with money and relationships, family, and choices above everything else. And also business, because seventh house is obviously very important for your public image, and is 10th house and your career. 10th house is from 10th house. So Venus is an extremely important planet in the chart, and it's really how you enjoy your life, and so when you are committing to somebody and loving somebody, going into marriage, because also 9th house Sagittarius and as well as 7th house, these are marriage houses of contracts and bonding together, and so they are very, very crucial houses. So this is now through everything that's going on around the world, and people have kind of started to realize what their belief system is, what sits right with them and what doesn't sit right with them, because Venus is after all about making choices. And because obviously it rules second house of the natural zodiac, which is the face and the neck. So with your neck you make choices, you look left and right, make a choice to cross the road, so you pros and cons of every situation. This is how Venus makes really good decisions, because the decision has got to be good for you, for your Venus. So this is, you don't do it for other people, you do it because I want to commit to this person or commit to this idea. And so when Venus is in Sagittarius, obviously it's an unfriendly sign. However, it's a commitment house, and it's ruled by Jupiter, and both Jupiter and Venus are very much the teachers of this world. So we are learning things to do with what's important to us. So I find that, again, this time has been quite challenging time, naturally, because people have had to deal with what's called fear, which is what it makes people do is, we know as astrology lovers and everything, that when we are on a soul journey, and your soul doesn't need to be fearful of anything, because the damage to the body is just a physical thing. Nobody can really touch your soul. You can allow people to touch your soul, but that's not, otherwise it's not real. So when you do deal with astrology, you kind of, at the beginning of your journey, you look at your chart and you look at the negative things, and as you grow with your chart and you accept your path, your chart, and your karmas that you decided to deal with in this lifetime, you look at it from a ninth house viewpoint now. So you look at it from the bigger picture, which is Jupiter. And you realize that actually there is no fear. It's all in the mind. That is something to do with the moon. This is very much to do with Jupiter. And if you look from where moon is in relation to Sagittarius, six houses and 8 houses away. So the mind can play all kinds of games with your sort of belief system. But truly, when Venus is there, you're not making decisions based on just feelings. You're actually making choices which are very much about what is good for me. You know, somebody with good Venus will get married based on what is good for them, and also what is good for the family and resources and stability of the family, second house stuff. And that's why when your Venus is good, you have got a very good social circle around yourself, because you bring to your life people who are just, give you joy, enjoyment, fun. So now coming towards the end of 2021, Venus being in Sagittarius is very much to do with you'll see a lot of people who have been in what we thought were really, really nice, good relationships. Their relationships are breaking up. And this past 21 months, probably since last Christmas, really, end of last year, even more people have had second thoughts about their relationships or their friendships or their belief system. So things have been challenged, and we have been challenged to actually think what is right, what's good. And so the breakages and the cracks in the relationships, even in jobs, actually, because some people are probably thinking, do I want to really be doing this? Do I want to be slaving over this? And how do I feel about this situation? So those kind of things, those sort of questions coming up are very telling about where we're going in the future, into 2022. And so I can see that particularly, some people will have their relationships have broken up, and they're now want to be with people, unite with people who are of the same, they have the same values as you, they have the same belief systems and ethics and ethos of life as yourself, and maybe the same religion, maybe the same spiritual path, maybe the same bigger picture, maybe somebody who has from the same culture as yourself, or somebody who's interested in your culture, somebody interested in your belief system. And this is how it's going to be going forward, because obviously a union between a man and a woman will be one, or even, a man and a man, or a woman and a woman. It's very much to do with being together and creating a home, creating an environment which is supportive of you two, and starting a life together. So I think everything that we're going to do going forward, there's going to be relationships going forward now going to be much more to do with what's Jupiter. Jupiter is knowledge, wisdom, awareness. And so we are going to go into relationships not really necessarily about beauty of somebody, but really those kind of things, as well as with Venus will be again to do with enjoying life together, bringing making each other supportive of each other, harmony, diplomacy between each other. So those I think going forward now is going to be a very beautiful time for making connections, meeting people. And you might actually also, because Venus is retrograding back, you might find that you will reconnect with people from previous life, or somebody that you had a connection with, a past love really, might come back into your life. Or even if friends, female friends of the same, same thinking of yourself coming back into your life, which will give you so much joy, because you will now take these people forward, because you're closing chapters in your life, because obviously we've gone through the 8th house, we've just gone through the solar eclipse, where we just shutting the door on some things in our life, and we're commencing a life now in the 9th house with Venus being there, that going forward, and Venus has encouraged us to do that, because from Sagittarius you'll find that you have Taurus is 8, there's a 6 and 8 relationship there, so there had to be some changes. 6th house divorce, 6th house discord, you're leaving that behind and you're starting something fresh now. You're really thinking about what changes, so you had to go through those obstacles, difficulties, discord, and arguments maybe, and now you are accepting the change from Taurus to Sagittarius, to realize actually this is not such a bad thing. I can embrace this, I can go forward. So I can see that now, because we start the new year with this freshness, and Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, and then Pisces. They're the Sattvic signs, so they're much more pure in their sort of forward-looking, in terms of they're closer to God, these signs. So I think the relationships will be much less about material world, and I want to have this, I want to have that, another dress, another car, another pair of shoes, status. Much more about really the important things in life. So, and so this is how I feel. This is going to be like a very changing time for all of us, really. And because the ruler of the Sagittarius is quite close, sitting quite close in the natural zodiac to Venus, so it's sitting in Aquarius, and so it's kind of like they're kind of neutral towards each other now, so they're not so inimical towards one another, if you like, so they can be supportive of each other. And Jupiter is also sitting in Aquarius, which is like a community, more about like sharing, and is supportive of that exchange. And I think the friendships also, being with somebody who is very supportive of your views, whether it's in a romantic way or in the friendship way, it just means that you're actually creating a new community for yourself, where it's going to be much more harmonious, much more, about what is good for all of us, rather than what's always good for me, which is like kind of Tamasic kind of signs that from Leo, Virgo, Libra, and also Scorpio, much more like to do with that kind of thing. So this is very different now. It's all very much like much more embracing of the community, and for the better of the community. So that will be much nicer as well. And obviously it's from Pisces as well. It's quite nice too, because obviously when Jupiter is sitting 12 houses from house of spirituality, is thinking, it's creating that awakening in people about becoming more spiritual, becoming a bit more kind of receptive to receiving from above. So these are what I think is going to happen. And also because naturally these sitting, you are using your heart, Venus rules Libra, it's heart chakra, Taurus, it's, Venus rules chakras, the heart chakra. So it's just that openness of that is going to just create more abundance anyway. So because it's the natural sign of the Venus, planet of money, so it will just bring abundance naturally, because second house ruler in the 9th house of natural zodiac. So that's in itself is very much like it will create. That will be like a byproduct of the beautiful unionships that we're going to go through. And I think also on the more mundane thing again, there'll be more justice in the world going forward, and we will leave behind the many years of injustice, centuries of injustice in the world. They'll be dealt with, they'll be sorted, and because there's just this magic about Venus being in Sagittarius. So now let's have a look at how this is going to impact each ascendant. So for Aries ascendant, this is going to be your 2nd and 7th house ruler in the 9th house. So for you, it is all about relationships and meeting somebody who is perhaps from a different culture, who has the same belief system as you, and really embraces the family. And obviously this means if you're single, I think there's a really good chance of meeting somebody that you can sort of feel really happy with, feel good about being together and enjoyment and everything. Somebody from a different culture possibly, somebody who likes traveling, or somebody that you meet whilst traveling. And this will be a nice union, and I just think that it's just going to make you feel quite secure. 2nd house being security, and money will flourish after that. So for Taurus ascendant is your 1st and 6th house ruler in the 8th house. So this is like complete change to your love status, I would say. So what will happen is, again, this could be like if you've been married for a long time, there could be a change. That could have been a bit painful, but through that, either you grow together, going forward with new new determination that you're going to work together through those beliefs, or maybe separate. And for others who've been maybe single for a long time, there's going to be a change now, also because you had the eclipse occurring as well in your 7th house. So there could be now a newness coming through where you will meet people that are, love connections or friendship connections that are really fulfilling of your desires. So that change could really be really good, for you. And this could also give changes to your work environment as well, 6th house being to do with that as well. So for Gemini ascendant, Venus rules your 5th and 12th house, and it's occurring in your 7th house. So it's actually quite a nice Raja Yoga for you, the same as, Aries has got this Raja Yoga and done yoga going. So nice. So it's just going to be like creating a new flame in the relationship, a bit of passion. You're going to travel together a bit more, just more enjoyment. 5th house stuff is enjoyment, really good. And obviously 12th house is house of bed pleasures. So what can I say? So Gemini is looking good. And for those of you who are single as well, 5th house is dating and romance. Or obviously, if you've been married for a long time, it could just be that you are being more romantic towards each other. You're putting dates in your diary, and sometimes if your partner is not really that way inclined, you could just kind of make sure they are inclined. You suggest it. And for Cancer, is 4th house and 11th house ruler going into the 6th house. So I would see this like very much to do with your 6th house is obviously service. So to look after people who are like to do with your females who need that service, and putting yourself out a little bit more for that. It'll just be making you happy. And it's also maybe somebody in your big groups, suggest that you might actually look after and do something for women who, because Venus rules women who are actually in need of some kind of community support, and that will be very, very good for burning off some karma, and just like enjoy, you know, that, because Venus, you'll enjoy doing that, you know, like so that would be really good. And it could also obviously because it rules your fourth house, you want to look after your mother as well during this time, spend time with them. And if there's been any discord with your mother during this time, try to kind of like try to sort of, the thing is, there's no point having the issues like that going forward, you know, because just want to have a clean slate. And actually, we can't change other people, but we can change ourselves and how we react to situations. So by just being a bit more like Sagittarius about the whole thing, and Venusian about the issues with mother, things like that, you can actually uplift yourself, if you like, and you will gain from it, because 11th house. Third house and 10th house ruler for Leo is in the 5th house. So again, this is a very creative, very, very creative time for you, where and that creativity will bring a lot of upliftment in your work as well. So you will probably find you tap into and learn skills that will really uplift your work and give you just joy at work, and your public image as well, being the 10th house. So it'd be really good for Leos. It really makes you feel really happy, and you want to just, like, you know, for some of you it could be like that you have a baby, or you plan for a baby or something like that. So that could be some lovely news for you. For Virgo ascendant, this is occurring this is your 2nd and 9th house ruler in the 4th house. Venus in the 4th house, wow, is brilliant. It's like literally to do with your heart chakra being happy. So it's got directional strength there. So you're going to be feeling happy, going to earn more money, you're going to spend time with your family more, you know, your father, just like all those lovely connections are going to be reignited, and that's going to be the theme of starting the year for you. Very nice. It's really nice Raj Yoga, you know, when you have like 9th house and 4th house connected, very nice. So, and then we have for Libra, it's the 1st and 8th house ruler in the 3rd house. So for Libra ascendants, it'll be good for them to put more effort into changes in life, you know, into sort of friends and colleagues, you know, trying to sort of be more diplomatic with them, be a little bit more kind of with brothers and sisters and siblings, you know, just to kind of like try to mend some of the things that might have gone wrong. Just put more effort into it, being brave, and just embracing that, you know, that there need to be some changes in thinking process. 3rd house being thinking process, and you know, because, you know, when your 3rd house is Sagittarius, it's a little bit like my truth is always, you know, kind of once it's more important, you know, and now it's like it's actually saying to you, is it really important to do that? You know, just embrace it, put effort into kind of those friendships or those things, and go forward with a sort of like more vision, if you like. This could also be that you could do a lot of creative things. To do 3rd house is doing things with your hands, and more, you know, writing or painting, sewing, things like that will be really nice as well. And for Scorpio, and actually I've just kind of realized I'm saying Scorpio ascendant, but it could also be a Scorpio moon. So this is like your 12th house ruler and 7th house ruler in the 2nd house. So this is like spending a bit more money on, you know, doing things with your partner could be nice, you know, where you just you've been earning the money. Actually, it's been quite a good year for most Scorpions. They've had opportunities at work. So this is maybe like now you want to have, you know, start spending more, have more fun times with your immediate family, with your loved one, with your, you know, creating that space where the money is truly worthwhile. And then for Sagittarius ascendant, is your 6th and 11th house ruler in the first house. So this is for Sagittarius ascendants. They really want to do something worthwhile in their community, in their with their groups of friends. They want to be of more help and service and be supportive of their community and the good of the community. So I can see that, you know, this is they trying to sort of like overcome some of the obstacles and find groups that they can actually connect with, so they can be of some use in their with females maybe in the area, and maybe slightly older women as well, or you know, or older people, because Sagittarius. And so yeah, so just creating a space where they can actually and also with their bigger groups, they can actually start connecting more with them, but doing more worthwhile things together. You know, maybe like when they grab, you know, coffee together, maybe go out and like clean the beach together, do some things for the community as well, of service. For the Capricorn ascendant, is the Yoga Karaka planet, 5th and 10th house ruler in the 12th house. So some of you might actually could be a romantic thing, because 5th house and 12th house is bed pleasures. 5th house is obviously dating and romance, so that could be something like that. Or it could also be that you just like being more creative at work, and because you're just giving yourself space to be able to not be so involved in like being online all the time, you're able to write more creatively, produce more creative work, and actually publish more work as well, because Sagittarius is the 9th natural sign of the zodiac, where you can actually create something that can be published. But generally speaking, this will create like you could also finish a job and start a new job. You know, because it's Venus does well in the 12th house. You know, does well in Pisces, the natural sign. So that could be completing a job, ending a job, and starting again. Or your children can create a lot of expenses for you. You'll be spending money on them, which is natural, isn't it? Because with festive season coming. For Aquarius ascendant, is 4th and 9th house ruler in the 11th, so it creates a really nice done yoga for money. And so you basically like you're finding happiness through connecting with groups that are of the same spiritual path, spiritual journey as you, same kind of vision about the world, about belief system, about your own truth, and you're grouping together. And I think because 4th house is also community, so things that are much more long term for your community area. This is a really, really nice one actually. And again, you know, obviously is as I said, it's a done yoga as well. It's a really good one, connecting 9th house and 11th house together. For Pisces, Venus rules your 3rd and 8th house, and you're in your 10th house. So you could be doing more creative work. You could be doing projects with your friends. You could do things to do with astrology or the occults, or like psychology, healing, things like that, with friends or with siblings. Or you could be finishing a job and starting a job which is much more creative, something, or maybe that you could do with friends or a sibling, you know. So, or are you gaining skills to do with that as well? Some of you might also write things to do with healing and psychotherapy, astrology, tarot, and things like that in your work, blogging or vlogging, something like that, and communicating your message to the world. So it's not a really bad position for anyone. So even like because it's Venus kind of, you know, planets kind of help you to make things happen in your life. So it's all progress for all of us, and this is going to be, as it's going to be right up to, you know, towards the end of February. It's a good time to actually use this transits in order to gain from them rather than just always worry about it. Create in, you know, for those of you who are single, this is for everybody, this is planet indicator of love. So make yourself available, you know, don't just wait at home and just think that this is going to happen. Create environments, create situations that you can activate your Venus, you know, so be more available, you know, go for walks and do 10 things with friends so you can create that environment. At the end of the day, it's December, it's a month of celebration. So I wish you well and I look forward to seeing you soon. Thank you.